some questions by way of interpellation.
Senator Lacson,
I'll say it again, Mr. President. Until the partial committee report is submitted or filed with the Bills and Index Division, and until after I have sponsored the partial committee report, I'm not yielding the floor.
Mr. President, that is very highly unusual. Why would Senator Lacson make a precondition that the partial report should be signed by at least a majority of its members before he can yield
may,
interpellation?
yes. May I place on record that it is the prerogative of any member of the Senate to yield or not yield. As a matter of fact, in my many years here, Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, and I'm sure Senator De Estrada is well aware of this, who was with me. Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, every time she delivers a privileged speech, does not entertain any interpellation.
Yes,
And
Mr.
it is her-
President, but
it is her prerogative.
this is different.
And then,
Because if
as I said, it is the prerogative of Senator Santiago, and it is likewise the prerogative of Senator Lacson, because he wants that, as he mentioned, he wanted that his partial committee report be reported out and sponsored before he can answer any questions to that effect.
Mr. President, if Senator Lacson would just say that he doesn't want to be interpellated, that will be okay with me. But he should not make a precondition that his unwillingness is conditioned upon whether or not the partial report should be signed by the majority. This is very unusual, Mr. President.
Yes, we respect your opinion.
And because he doesn't want to be interpellated, may I just be given the opportunity to make manifestation because my name was mentioned.
Of
by
course,
Senator Lacson.
of course you may. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I cannot speak for our colleagues why they hesitate or even refuse to sign the partial report he allegedly disseminated to the members. But as for myself, Mr. President, I cannot sign a partial report. A partial report is basically unfinished. An unfinished report cannot be assumed to have contained the final and collective judgment of all the members. This is very basic, Mr. President. Secondly, I did not heed my reasons why I cannot sign the partial report. I delivered a privileged speech some time ago, Mr. President, outlining the reasons, therefore. Number one, I was expecting the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee to have conducted several hearings more, and in those hearings, he should have invited several persons whom I enumerated in my privileged speech. Namely, Yusek Adrian Bersamin, Yusek Jojo Cadiz, former Governor Luis Chavez Singson, former Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Congressman Saldico by way of an apostilled sworn statement, because this is very, very possible. An apostilled sworn statement, Mr. President, as I have already advised the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, is similar to a sworn statement notarized by the Philippine Consulate in any part of the world, because this apostilled manner or method of subscription was already adopted by the Supreme Court in one of its resolutions, Mr. President. I also advocated that the 18 ex-soldiers be immediately be invited because they have so much to say. Because I thought he said, and he emphasized at some point, that wherever the evidence is, the BRC will be led there too, Mr. President. Ang sabi pa po niya, Mr. President, hindi option yung interparliamentary courtesy. At kung ako po ba'y tatawagin pala sa mababang kapulungan dahil meron pala silang itatanong tungkol sa di umano ay mga donasyon na aking tinanggap. Mr. President, I will willingly present myself with or without invitation. They just have to suggest to me that they wanted me there. I will go there, Mr. President. Interparliamentary courtesy is between the two chambers, Mr. President. Tayo-tayo po ang pinag-uusapan na maggalangan doon. Pero ang nangyari, Mr. President, ang ating boss, ang mga amo natin, ang taong bayan, ang hindi na po iginalang eh. Hindi lang pangbabastos sa mga taong bayan ang ginawa ng mga magnanakaw at kawatan nitong flood control projects. Igagalang pa ba natin, Mr. President, ang mga tinutungo ng ebidensya na sangkot ang mga taong gusto nating ipatawag in this chamber? Gagamitin pa po bang isang dahilan na kailangan nating maggalangan kung sila mismo ay hindi na iginalang ang taong bayan na ngayon ay halos nagdurusa na? Tama po, sinabi niya kanina, Mr. President, talagang mainit ang panahon. Ang heat index ay talagang sumadsad na talaga sa pinakamainit na bahagi. Ngunit ang lalong nagpapainit nito, Mr. President, ay yung kawalan ng political will na ipagpatuloy ang pagdinig. Kahit na lantaran na nandun na talaga ang mga ebidensya. Bakit po hindi tayo tumawag ng pagdinig, Mr. President? Inimbita si Governor Luis Chavez Singson. Sa pagkakalam ko sa mga accounts na nababasa ko, he was invited to appear on April 14. At binigyan po siya ng pagkakataon hanggang April 7, hanggang alas 5 ng hapon na ihain ng kanyang sinumpaang salaysay. Hanggang alas 5 ng hapon, Mr. President. Ngunit 9:15 ng umaga, ipinaabot sa bahay ng dating gobernador na kinakansela na po ang nasabing pagdinig. At ginamit pang dahilan, paano po nangyari yun, Mr. President? Binigyan siya hanggang alas 5 ng Abril 7 na isubmit. Sa pagkakaalam ko po, nandun na siya sa Maynila at nanananghali. Pagkatapos na itutuloy siya sa opisina ni Senator Lacson para ihain yung sworn statement na kanyang inihanda. Bakit po kinakailangang dumating pa si Saldico? Inihintay siguro ni Saldico, Mr. President, ideklara lang ng chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, i-apostil mo lang yan kahit nasaan ka sa anumang bansa ka sa Europe, tatanggapin ng committee yan. At pagkatapos, hahayaan ka namin sa pamagitan ng Zoom, ay pumayag ka at iimbitehan ka namin para sa isang special na pagdinig kung yan ang gusto mo. Yun lang siguro gusto niyang marinig. Bakit ikukondisyon pa natin ang pagdating niya rito, Mr. President, kung yung apostille sworn statement is sufficient enough for him to do just that? Ano po ba tayo rito? Nagtatakip po ba talaga tayo? Mr. President, kayo po ay maaring makapagtestigo sa sasabihin ko. Nung isang araw po, pinuntahan ko kayo sa inyong opisina at may binanggit po akong isang bagay na maaaring makatulong sa atin kung paano kilalanin si Senator Lacson. Binanggit ko po sa inyo, Mr. President, ng buong katapatan nung ako'y wala pa po sa Kongreso, wala pa po sa public service, nakilala ko po si Senator Lacson bilang chief ng PNP. Nabanggit ko po sa inyo, Mr. President, sa ating pag-uusap sa inyong opisina. Mula noon, nung makita ko siya, lalong-lalo na po dun sa episode na pinatawag po niya, ang lahat ng kinaukulan na merong mga nakaw na sasakyan, mga karnap na sasakyan. Naalala ko po na sinabi niya, Mr. President, lahat ng mga ninakaw na sasakyan, dalhin nyo rito sa Camp Crame. No questions asked. Dahil palagi po akong dumadaan sa EDSA, Mr. President. Dahil opisina ko po sa Ortigas, nakita ko pong nakabunton lahat talaga ang mga ninakaw na sasakyan. Talaga pong hinangaan ko, Senator Lacson. Walang nakagawa nun sa aking palagay kung hindi siya lang. Di ba, Mr. President, sinabi ko pa sa'yo, sayang wala nakako yung aking kaibigan, yung dating mayor ng Marikina, Bayani Fernando. Dahil kinausap ko po siya. Sabi ko, Bayani, alam mo, yung ginagawa mo sa Marikina, gusto ko rin eh. At yung ginagawa ni Chief PNP, Ping Lacson, gusto ko din yun. Ayaw mo ba siyang kausapin na kayong dalawa tumakbo? Si Ping Lacson ang president. Ikaw naman ang vice president. Kinuwento ko sa iyo yan, Sir President. Bakit ko po sinasabi ngayon ito, Ginoong Pangulo? Nung umpisa po talagang ganong na nakita ko po eh. Yung kanyang kagustuhan na maayos natin ang ating bansa. Yung sinasabi niyang track record, maring nung umpisa nandun po yun eh. Hindi ko ikukwento ito kung hindi talagang hinangaan ko siya. Noon. Pero bakit ngayon po ay nagkaiba, Mr. President? Parang yung pedestal na aking hinangaan, yung alamat na nandoon, unti-unting gumuho. Nalulungkot po ako at nangyari yun, Mr. President. Ang sabi ko pa nga eh, hindi man tayo dapat maglaban-laban dito eh. Ang kapakanan ng mamamayan ng ating bansa, ang importante rito po eh. Yung direksyon natin. Bakit kailangan akong palaging pinapasaringan? Hindi naman po ang aking kagustuhan eh. Kung sino yung dapat na sumikat o sino yung dapat magpasikat, hindi po yun eh. Isa lang po ang sikat dito, Mr. President. Ang taong bayan na pinagsisilbihan nating lahat. Doon po natin ituon ang lahat ng ating makakaya, ang lahat ng ating energy. Malampasan sana natin ang problemang ito. Ngunit, yung hindi po pagganap sa tungkulin. Yun po yung hinahanap ng tao, Mr. President. Napakainit na po ng panahon talaga. Pinapag-iinit pa ng paghihintay nang hindi malaman hanggang kailan maghihintay ang taong bayan.